Knowing where your food comes from has always been important, but in the past decade, it's become a really hot topic in the media and across the internet. We here in Western New York are nestled in the center of some important and productive plant and animal agriculture. But unless you grew up directly connected to a farm in some way, it's unlikely that you'd know the ins and outs of how agriculture works. I didn't grow up around farms or farmers, and I had a very steep learning curve. It can be difficult to distinguish between the truth and the misconceptions that have been very widespread. One of the areas that I've noticed the most confusion around is how meat and milk is marketed in the stores and how that translates to the actual raising of those animals. There seems to be a rising mistrust of animal ag and suspicion regarding the health and quality of those animal-based products. The general public, very nobly and correctly, is valuing animal welfare and healthy food more intentionally and loudly than they may have in the past. However, they don't always know what words or sources actually ensure or support these concepts. Some people actually choose non-animal products because of personal conviction, personal health needs, or personal preference. But some people choose non-animal products or pay a premium for certain animal products because they have been told that animal products are typically inhumanely obtained or are unhealthy for us. Choosing products labeled organic, natural, or antibiotic-free because you think it is inherently healthier or safer is a prime example of this. The National Organic Program of the USDA is addressing three major topics: how the animals are fed, how they live, and what medications are given to them. The rules regarding how they are fed focus on how the crops they eat are grown. There are no real regulations on the nutrition balance of the feed provided to the animal or the quality of the specific crops. This does not really impact the nutritional value of the food in the human body. The rules regarding how they live are a critical part of animal welfare. The requirements are important and valuable. However, they are not unique or exclusive to the National Organic Program. Welfare primarily seeks to uphold the 5 basic freedoms of life: freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injury, and disease, freedom from fear, and the freedom to express normal behaviors. The rules about what medications the animal get is an area very near and dear to my heart as a veterinarian, the prescriber of any medications given to an animal. The term antibiotic-free has been used by companies as a point of pride, a big selling point. In reality, there is no detectable amount of antibiotic or other drugs in any food product you eat. There is a subset of the USDA called the FSIS, or Food Safety and Inspection Service. The department is entirely dedicated to food safety. Per the Federal Meat Inspection Act and associated legislation, any product distributed across state lines is continuously inspected by a federal inspector, who is typically a veterinarian. Products distributed in-state are subject to state inspection programs. The goals of the inspectors are to detect and destroy diseased and contaminated meat, to assure clean handling and no adulteration, to minimize microbial contamination, and to prevent false labeling. There are lots of requirements for the facilities and protocols where the meat is inspected. The meat is inspected ante-mortem when the animal arrives at the facility. This is in part to ensure ill animals are not included in the food chain, but also to ensure the Humane Slaughter Act of 1978 is executed. No animal that is unable to safely proceed through the facility using humane handling can be included in the process. After a humane, painless death, the meat is inspected on both the visual and microbial level. It is then inspected finally in the product form: bacon, steak, sausage, etc. Because of all these precautions and regulations that apply to all food products and not just organic meat and milk, all of our animal-based food products are antibiotic and drug-free, and therefore those terms should not be the deciding factor in your brand selection. Humans are fallible, and it would be inaccurate to say that all farms everywhere perfectly balance valuing animal welfare and pursuing a decent profit margin. There are many farms where subpar cleanliness or health standards persist, and they somehow get away with it by being just productive enough to keep a reasonable bottom line. Sometimes, especially with larger farms, they are so much more concerned with the big picture, herd health level of health and efficiency, that individual animals are not always treated with the care and dedication they deserve. I truly believe that the animal ag world has plenty of room to grow and improve. I also truly believe that first-class animal welfare and first-class efficient productivity are two concepts that can be symbiotic rather than at odds. There is more work to be done to appropriately educate our producers and prove the symbiosis through research. But it is equally, if not more, incorrect to characterize the animal ag industry as uncaring, unfeeling, and unethical as a whole. Agriculture has been the backbone of every single civilization throughout history, and I can say confidently from personal experience that we in the industry care. We care about the animals, we care about providing safe food, and we care about providing quality. My name is Dr. Shaanthi Nair, a veterinarian at the Perry Veterinary Clinic. This video is brought to you by Animal Friends of Wyoming County. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by Animal Friends of Wyoming County. Please like this video, subscribe to their social media, share with a friend, and stream the CHOW podcast, and consider giving a tax-deductible donation through our website, www.animalfriendsofwyco.com.